Hello everybody and welcome to this week's energy update. Really excited to dive into what has come through for us this week. We have a really beautiful week where we're moving into some more further introspection, but also this brand new beginning that so many of us have been waiting for. I feel like the main takeaway from this week is moving on to greener pastures and taking the time out this week to slow down and soak it all in, to really align ourselves with this new start. We're really coming out of a very tumultuous time and tumultuous energies that we've gone through with the eclipse season, with Mercury retrograde, with all of these things that have been going on. I know so many of us are kind of still left with our heads spinning, but this week is the time for us to finally take that much needed rest and time to move into this element of retreat. So we have a lot around abundance, blessings, and further movement, but also taking the time that is required to do things very correctly in a very aligned way, and celebrating life with every moment that we have. So let's move into what channeled. So we have the dance of life, fall into flow, recalibration, breathing life into your goals, blessings and sunshine, rehearsing abundance in the mind, connecting with good habits such as warm sunshine, good food, pleasant company, and savoring all of the pleasures of your life. So let's pause here, because this was actually really important to focus on, and especially because it's the first major message of the week, is this reminder to once more slow down and tune in to the divine feminine energy. So I'm really seeing for this week, we are needing to focus on those simple pleasures. We're needing to focus on the blessings, the abundance that is starting to really bloom, and making a commitment to abundance. So what they were showing with me with this rehearsing abundance in the mind, very much like positive affirmations, keeping the mind full of goodness, really being mindful and careful with our self-talk and inner dialogue is going to be crucial this week. So they're showing me how last week we had a lot of liberation from fear and a lot of awareness around where fear might have been holding us captive in that cage, where we've been feeling like we haven't been free. But this week we're being called to practice now this very strong diligence of, hey, these are some triggers I became aware of the past few weeks. Hey, these are the big wounds that came up throughout eclipse season or throughout the past couple weeks through Mercury retrograde. I know that these things are going to want to be continued to be worked with. So I need to be mindful every single day about keeping my mindset free and clear from repeating old patterns. So how do we do that? We had a huge awareness of the material we're taking in every single day last week as well. So really reflect back to that reading if you feel called to this week. But I'm just seeing our mind loves to stay on the same loop over and over again. But this week we're being called to break that loop, break that pattern, saying no to those mindsets, and continue this beautiful burst of positivity, because there's going to be a lot to celebrate this week. There's going to be a lot of beauty that we're going to actually be slowing down enough to take into account. And they're kind of showing me this awareness that pops in when we get this burst of enthusiasm, this burst of, they're kind of showing me nature here. You know, when we're actually out in nature because the weather's nice finally, and we're able to get outside and we're able to slow down, and we're like, wow, I forgot how lovely this was to just put life on pause and be in the present moment and enjoy this beauty of nature around me. That's what they're kind of showing me is going to be crucial this week, because it really allows us to drop into this grounded space, this foundation of love, support, and beauty. and gratitude. So this is really, really beautiful. And this helps us to realign, right? So they're showing me the rush and the anxiety and the stress and the fear that we've been going throughout this chaotic energy and time is now being switched over, is now changing to this very trusting energy, this very relaxed energy, this very divine, feminine energy where we're free to flow. And so this week, honor the ebbs and flows of the energy. Honor the ebbs and flows of your body, of your spirit. This is how we're going to start birthing new and really coming to this abundance mindset very naturally. So we want to open our eyes to good habits. And this was so cool because as we start realizing, hey, I really do want to leave my fears in the past. I really do want to leave behind this old mindset, this stress, the fear, anxiety, my old patterns. We start becoming very intentional and very focused on alignment. So how can I now align with my soul and spirit and the rhythm and flow of life? And how can I reconnect to things that actually are good for me? So they're showing me once more the importance of sunshine, the importance of nature, the importance of good food and good company. Have you forgotten how important those simple things are for yourself and for your life? And where have you lost stock in putting those things in importance? So they're really kind of showing me it's time to prioritize the simple things, the things that improve your health, the things that improve your well-being, so you can start living a very aligned life. So from there, we have advice around our goals, which is really cool. So for a lot of us, we're going to want to start off our week with this very forward movement because once more, we've gotten a lot of clarity these past few weeks, even if it's been painful clarity, but it's been showing us and redirecting us into the areas that we want to propel our goals. So they're kind of showing me this enthusiasm and this rush and this like, I just want to get to the good stuff now. I just want to spearhead into this goal and get her done. But unfortunately, this is not the week to be rushing. And this is where we want to keep this awareness. So we have you are too close to a goal or situation to clearly see it. Get outside perspectives to calm the mind, to release imposter syndrome. Your abundance is here. Lean into goodness and a positive mindset. Rebirthing goals from a state of abundance rather than lack. Okay, now this was really cool because once more they were showing me how we're kind of in this grip of fear and it's time to break free. Okay, so let's pause here. So once more, we're going to have this very strong energy of I just want to get to the good stuff. I want to rush ahead. I want to get this project done or I want to get this to my goal, right? But they're really showing me that this week, once more, this is the week to be surrendering. This is the week to be flowing. So don't force this week. Don't rush. And they're just showing me someone wanting to be so incredibly meticulous and looking at all the details and controlling every outcome so they can make sure that they remain safe, to make sure that they get to their goal in the perfect way, in the perfect time in their mind. But that is not how life works. And they're warning us to really learn how to let go, how to release control and trust. You are safe right here, right now, wherever you are in the journey. And just because your goal might be needing a bit more time doesn't mean that it's not happening. And if you slow down enough, you'll actually see that that will streamline your goals in an even better way. So they're kind of showing me someone just face up to this project, like really going into everything, looking at every single detail. But you're too close. You need to take a step back this week. You need to be looking at the big picture. So they're really showing me the importance of when we get too involved in our goals or our dreams or too perfectionistic or too controlling, it's important to get an alternative perspective. And so this will help calm you. This will help you relax. This will help you see, oh, maybe I have been a little bit too in my head over this or too controlling with this. And this is just feeding my anxiety. So how can I start lovingly approaching these goals and creating this birthplace of abundance? And this is cool because this is actually helping us heal this wound of imposter syndrome, because it's funny because they're kind of showing me that when we actually go to another person and we're like, hey, can you give me another perspective on this? They kind of give you this awareness to how great you already are. And here you've been on this rat race thinking you need to be better and better and improve and be more and be more. And they're just showing the moment you get off that hamster wheel and you actually see what you've created and the progress you've made, and you get this alternative perspective, it just calms you and it brings this awareness of like, whoa, okay, maybe I am actually here. So we're going to get this awareness to this wound of imposter syndrome where it's like, I'm never enough. This doesn't feel like this is right, or I don't deserve this yet because it's not perfect yet. We might get into those mindsets even when we are given this new perspective and new information. And this is going to force us to heal it, which is really incredible. And it's going to help illuminate us to where we've been feeling unworthy of our dreams and where we've been just caught in this wheel of hard work without reward because we constantly are repeating that mantra, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet, it's not good enough, I'm not good enough. And now we're slowing down enough to make the course correction. So they're showing me now that it's so important that our dreams are fostered on self-love as opposed to self-deprecation, as to low self-worth, as to fear and lack being those motivations for our dreams. No, we want to be moving towards our dreams because we know we deserve it, because we know we are worthy of them, because we know we have extraordinary gifts that we're here to share. And as I say this, my throat chakra is so tight. So we're going to be getting this truth bomb that lands this week that really hits us hard. And it might bring emotion. It might bring, like, in a way sad, but also happy tears because you're grieving the past version of you. A lot of us are going to be going through that. This grief of who we thought we needed to be. This grief of the old version of you who didn't know their worth, their value. And then waking up to, wow, you are so strong and you're already here. Like, you're already at the top tier bar, my friends. And it's so incredible. So this now makes us realize your abundance is here. It's always been within you, within your heart, within the voice you have to share, with your gifts that you're already acting on. And this awareness just fills your soul and it can finally sing because there's nothing inhibiting it anymore. There's no more of this inner dialogue going, you can't have it until you're perfect. We're now seeing abundance is ready to claim here and now. So we literally have that. Release imposter syndrome. Your abundance is here. Leaning into your goodness and a positive mindset. Rebirthing your goals from a state of abundance rather than lack. Right? So imagine the shift in energy of when you start pioneering your goals from this space of pure self-empowerment, this full awareness and full embodiment of self-love and deservingness. Can you imagine how your dreams are going to take shape so differently from the past when it was born from lack and insufficiency? Right? Such a shift that's happening, and it's absolutely beautiful. So they're showing me that we're wrenching away from this grip of fear. We're releasing its hold over us. And this is so important. So this is where that introspection is going to be called for this week. So let's go into that. So we have next, be honest with yourself. From what do you need to break free? right? What do you need to break free from? What's holding you captive this week? What's that burden on your shoulders that's really unnecessary that you need to let go of, okay? We need to drop into divine trust. So how can you see the universe is always here beside you, conspiring in your favor? Gain trust, shift the perspective, seek growth, not perfection. The dream is near. This was quite cool. So then they showed me like this roller coaster and we're buckling ourselves in for the ride. And we all know with roller coasters, they're bumpy. They can kind of fling you around sometimes. Sometimes there's fear. Sometimes you're screaming. But there's pure enjoyment in the journey. It's worth it because you have so much fun. And this is exactly the analogy that they're giving me for this week and making up our minds to go, okay, this is the journey of life. It doesn't need to be perfect. Yes, I'm strapping myself in. I'm going to wear my seatbelt just in case. I'm going to take the precautions because I know life is going to be bumpy. And there's going to be moments where I'm going to want to scream and I want to be afraid. But that doesn't mean the ride is not going to be pleasurable. It's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be enjoyable because it's going to be. So what came through was buckle your seatbelt. It will be a bumpy ride, but making a deliberate decision to stay true to your goals despite any challenges that come your way. Remain in your power for good. This is so cool. So they're really showing me once more this alternative view that we're going to see this week. And we're actually dedicating ourselves to this change of perspective. We're committing ourselves to a new way of living life, of seeing life, and allowing ourselves to keep this positivity in bloom. So once more, we're allowing room for humanness. We're allowing room for error, for mistakes. But I love how they put this like seek growth, not perfection. So this week, once more, we might get illumination to where we've been really trying to control every detail, where we want to rush things, where we want things to happen on our timeline, on the way we want things to go. But we're seeing now that that's so rigid. It's so restricting on ourselves, on our possibilities for life. And we're actually seeing how we've been closing ourselves off from further opportunities when we do this. And the greatest opportunity, which is you're squandering the present moment. You're not allowing yourself to unfurl to the flow of life, to be in the pleasure of the experience. You're cutting yourself off from the abundance that is already here and full around you. So they're showing me this enlightenment coming in this week, that abundance is not a destination. It's not somewhere to reach or go for. It's here. We just have to take it. We just have to open our eyes and see it's already around us. So it's really incredible what we're doing. We're making up our minds to see things differently and to let go and give ourselves permission to be in the absolute human experience we're in. It's so amazing. So we're remaining in our power for good. This is huge. So no matter what comes your way the next while, because they are showing me this fear, right? This fear of letting go, this fear of releasing control. And this is where we'll have to comfort the inner child. We'll have to comfort ourselves and go, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay if we don't know what's next. It's okay if we don't know how things are going to happen or how things are going to go. All you can do is the best with the information you have in the present moment. That's all you can do. All you can do is trust your intuition and trust the divine to always be there for you. So I'm really seeing we'll have to comfort ourselves. We'll have to keep checking in and getting alternative perspectives from the fear, right? So if you find yourself in the clutches of fear this week, seek out help, seek out advice, seek out different perspectives. This will help you change your mind, because they're showing me so many of us have made up our mind that this is the way life has to be. This is the way life has to go. But that doesn't mean that's the correct perspective. That doesn't mean that's the only way, that's the only truth that there is. We need to be open to new views. So what do you need to break free from this week? Okay. And it's so funny because this week I'm getting so much abundance, so many good things. It's so funny. They're showing me the Ace of Wands. So you're taking this major leap forward in your life, in your dreams. You're leaving behind the things that aren't serving you. Okay, this is huge. And they're showing me this newfound love of your life that's actually taking place. So as much as humanly possible this week, slow down and take in the little things. Really make time for your friends, for your loved ones, for your tea, for your solo trips, for your time in nature, to sit with the tree, be that weirdo and hug it and be with it, sit with it, meditate with it. Really allow yourself to partake in the small pleasures that help keep you present in your life, okay? So important. They're also showing me animals here, so it's very important if you have animals, spend time with them this week. Really allow them to help you, because our animals are our spirit guides. They really are. They're here to help us. They're our soul family. They chose us. It's not a coincidence what animals you have in your life. They are with you for a reason, to help you, to guide you, to bring you back to your present moment, and to comfort you when you need it. So I'm just seeing our little soul companions in life here. Really make sure you're spending time. So precious. So from there, we have, if disappointment arises, it arises when you feel out of control. So waiting on a gift to be given when you already hold the key. Stop waiting. Now is the time. Give the gift of a new life to yourself. And this is where they showed me the High Priestess. So incredible. So if you find yourself disappointed, okay, because that might happen this week. We might be looking at those goals and being like, why aren't they here? When we're looking at these certain things that we want, and we want them now, we're getting impatient because we're like, man, I've gone through all this stuff. I'm ready for a win. I'm ready for this new thing in my life. And once again, they're showing me this rush to complete it, this rush to get to the destination. But once again, we're failing to see you're already here. You're already there. The abundance is here, okay? There's no need to be rushing this. But if disappointment comes in, that's a real feeling, and it might come in this week. This is where they're showing me, this is where you are once more trying to control the outcome. And where you're feeling out of control of the outcome. So this is where we need to surrender and take back our power, because they're kind of showing me we're disappointed because we've given the power to external circumstances. We're going, well, this isn't the time. It hasn't become the time yet. And that's so frustrating. Universe, when are you going to give me this gift? When is it going to be the right time? But they're showing me once more, we are the ones that already have the key inside of us. So we're the ones that need to take control this week. We are the ones who have to take control of that inner narrative. We have to take control of our actions every day. We have to take control of our anxiety and our bodies, right? So where's our nervous system stuck in this loop of fight or flight? Or I need to get this done so I can be safe. Or I need to get this, right? Where are we in this loop? We need to come back to calmness and realize that, hey, this isn't out of my hands, but I also need to surrender to the flow. And I need to see that at any time I can go within myself and see that I can give this gift to myself. So what I'm really seeing, this gift that we need to give ourselves this week is actually self-acceptance. Self-acceptance in the highest degree. Acceptance and approval of what we've already accomplished. We need to give ourselves some self-recognition. Hey, you are so close to this new goal. Hey, you've gotten huge clarity. Now is the time to be taking those steps, yes, but in an aligned way with the rhythms and flow of life. So we don't necessarily have to wait. Okay, so they kind of go, stop waiting, now is the time. Give the gift of a new life to yourself. I love this because we're no longer waiting on certain outcomes to give us satisfaction, to give us abundance, to give us what we think we need. Because once more, we're taking the power back and going, well, those goals take as long as they take, but I'm going to take the abundance that's already here. I'm going to give myself the self-recognition that I do deserve already, even if this isn't completed yet, even if this is going to take longer time to get to this specific destination. Because we're no longer applying our worth to our goals and accomplishments. We're learning that we're deserving of love and abundance and recognition now. Okay? And once more, this comes back to that imposter syndrome. Where do you feel like you're not there yet? That you're not deserving of this right now? You are. And it's time to take the treasures that the universe is currently offering you. So once more, where do you need to get super honest with yourself this week and break free from these behaviors that squander the gift of life, okay? So how do we do that? Those small goals every day. Gratitude every day. Repeating mantras, affirmations, creating a new dialogue in the brain is very, very, very important. So from there, we have new incentives, new goals, finalizing projects with joy. Okay, this is what I have to laugh at is like, I almost feel like some of us are going to be like, it's not happening fast enough. I'm disappointed. I haven't gotten what I've been trying to do yet. And then it's like, I actually feel like some of us will actually reach the goal at the end of this week, but it's going to surprise you, almost like you didn't see it coming because you were so wrapped up in how long it was taking or the perfections that you're like, oh, actually I think it's actually done. And you get this awareness of how when you just surrendered and let go and you just were like, you know what? It's going to be done when it's going to be done. I'm going to get there when I get there. And you just enjoyed yourself and surrendered to the flow. You actually get to the destination a lot quicker than you thought when you were stuck in this loop of fear and self-sabotage. So it's really, really funny. So a lot of us are going to get an enlightenment to the ease and grace and how when we actually do things in a very loving and flowing ease and grace way. Sorry, I could articulate that better, but when we surrender, it's amazing how quickly we actually reach those goals. So we have new initiatives, new goals, finalizing projects with joy. And that's key, with joy, right? Like, how do you want to reach this goal anyway? Like through drudgery, through stress, through, headache and hurt and burden? Like, no, we want to enjoy the journey. We want to savor life. We want to enjoy the experience. That's the whole point, right? So I love that. Completing projects with joy. So aligned decisions cause aligned prospects and results. Chosen opportunities sprout and bloom. A new life is here. Make progress towards your goals and continue to get new information. Stay true to what you've chosen for your life. One love. Continue to fight for what you want. Continue to fight for your new beliefs. Don't lose the goals due to any minor setbacks. Trust yourself. Trust and keep expectations high. This is now time for you to unveil your true self. So this is incredible. We have so much information here about celebration. I really feel celebration is coming through this week. There's going to be things to celebrate. There's going to be finalizations of projects. There's going to be new goals. There's going to be new enlightenment. There's going to be new downloads I'm feeling around specific things that we didn't even think were possible, okay? Like, we're really getting enlightenment to what's next for us, okay? And because we're leaving behind these old programs and fears and self-worth issues and imposter syndrome, we now are going to be developing these goals in such a beautiful way that allows us to really be manifesting from a space of abundance. And we're seeing this awareness of oneness drop in. That was the other thing that was really coming in this week, is seeing you're one with the universe. You are the universe incarnate. You are completely connected to abundance, to love, to anything you need all the time. And that is such a powerful understanding to really cultivate this week. So notice where you cut yourself off, where you make yourself the exception. These are the things that we need to be cutting loose from our energy fields. We need to be releasing these lies that keep us stuck and caged in this foundation of lack, okay? You are enough. You are a spark of the divine. You are the divine, right? You are not cut off from anything. So this helps us tap into those streams of abundance tenfold. It's amazing. So aligned decisions create aligned perspectives and outcomes. I love this. So whenever you're faced with a decision or choice this week, and we might have some of those things come in, and once more giving me that example of, scrutinizing and self-criticizing, or going this different route where it's like, well, what if it actually is already wonderful? What if all the hard work is actually done and I just need to step back and take a new approach to this? So they're showing me this example of like someone doing a painting, and once more they're working on those little details, but they're failing to see the big picture. So how can you once more take an aligned approach? How can I look at things a new way, in a way that's very much in alignment and true to who I am, and trusting yourself in that inner guidance, right? And where this is circling back is coming back to that big perspective of love, right? Because then we get the whole picture. Hey, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Oh, maybe if I actually do start seeing things through the eyes of love, it takes the pressure off, because I don't need to be perfect. It can be perfectly imperfect. I can let myself be authentic, right? And so they're showing me that letting your projects and your goals, and say if this is like a painting as an example, let that essence be in this project. Let it be showcased, your authenticity, right? If everyone was perfect, life would be boring. So they're showing me like, showcase your uniqueness and don't shy away from sharing those things. So this week we're going to be making decisions from that space of, how can I showcase me? How can I love me even more in every decision I make? Every choice that I have in front of me, how can I make sure it is fully in alignment with who I am today, as opposed to making these decisions from someone who was fearful, from a space of fear, from a space of self-sabotage, or not seeing my worthiness and greatness, right? So it's really amazing what starts shifting. And they're showing me that these chosen paths begin to sprout and bloom. And it was so beautiful because they were showing me these little seeds that are now sprouting and flowers that are blooming. So it's like, yeah, these things that you've been putting effort and time and energy into, they're blooming. They are sprouting this week. We're going to start seeing finally some fruits of our labor. And this is what's so exciting. We're making steady progress. And what's amazing is the statement, new life is here, right? It's here. It's there. It's sprouted. There's a flower blooming. New life. It's here. There's nothing more to wait for. It is here, right? So they're showing me this awareness of getting new information. So once again, I feel like it's this surprise where it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you keep watering the seeds and you don't see anything, and every day you just get used to not seeing anything, and then, oh, it's there. There's a sprout. There's a flower. So once again, it's like this new information comes in where it's like, oh my gosh, there is progress here. There is progress being made. And for some of us, it's going to be, it's done. It's sprouted. It's ready. So cool. So stay true to the goal, even if you come through minor setbacks. And I love this because once again, they're just showing me the roller coaster, right? Like, just because you get a couple knocks back and forth doesn't mean that the whole ride is ruined. Just because there was a little scary drop and you had to have a little scream and a little moment of terror didn't mean that the whole experience was awful or is going to stop. There's so much joy to be had. So once again, choose your perspective this week. Choose to see the goodness because there is so much to see. So unmask yourself. And I love this because there's so much about really showcasing who you are, stepping into your authenticity this week, being proud. And it's so amazing because they're just showing me the heart being so open and being willing to be seen now. And that's huge. Like, that's a huge step for a lot of us this week where we're going, okay, this project is ready and it's ready to be shared. I'm ready to be shared. They're even showing me others getting into committed relationships, others committing to new jobs that require them to put their heart out there, that require them to be open-hearted. And we're taking the step. They're actually showing that, us taking that step forward and like, this is me. This is who I am. And I'm proud of who I am. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for recognition. And it's truly remarkable. So know the universe is so on your side this week. You are going to conquer these fears. You are going to conquer these worries, my friends. It's time to let them go. It's time to let that attitude be in the past and love your life. So friends, that's all I have for us this week. What a cool reading. Lots of good things to be looking forward to. Let me know how it resonates for you in the comments below. And I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day.